Okay, yeah, that's entirely what this part of the level is. Alright, cool. Cool. Alright, let's do this. Okay. I seem to have a thing for cel-shaded graphics, don't I? Well, I can't help that these games tend to grab my attention. Mr.Shifty is a small game developed by Team Shifty and published by TinyBuild that was released back in 2017. Although I got it as part of a Humble Bundle deal where I got a bunch of Steam keys for donating money to Australian wildfire groups late last year. It was a whole thing. It's a cel-shaded arcade action puzzle game that knows it's all about that gameplay, so let's check it out. You didn't bother to tell me this before you sent me in? Alright, cool. Mr.Shifty is presented as a cel-shaded, somewhat comic book-styled action game. The game doesn't present itself as anything big or grand. The game shoves you straight into the action from the word go, gives you a little tutorial for the basic controls, and then you're let loose on all the levels the game has to offer. The game's story is even more minimal than the last game I reviewed, Void Bastards. In that game, there was at least a hint of something more going on, but here? Nah, everything happens exactly as it's presented and there are no big twists here. You're the good guy, he's the bad guy, go beat him up. No. No. No! The gameplay is pretty much the entire game here, everything else is just pretty window dressing. As Mr.Shifty, you can run, punch, and shift. Shifting is this blink ability you have that allows you to instantly teleport from one location to a location a few feet in the direction you're aiming. There's little to no restrictions on what your shifting can do either, unless you're in a negation field, but you can shift through people, bullets, rockets, and walls to enter otherwise inaccessible rooms or pull off other weird tricks. Just be careful you're actually shifting past the gunfire, else you'll just land in front of it and get Swiss cheesed. Oh. Whoa, okay. Although I'll admit sometimes the hit detection comes off as, well, bullshit sometimes. Maybe that's just the physics, I don't know. Alongside this power, you also have a form of bullet time. The more times you hit enemies within a short time span from one another, you fill up an orange bar at the bottom that, once filled, will act as a bullet time. When the bar is full and a bullet, specifically a bullet, not a rocket, not a fist, is near you, it will activate and you will go into slow motion with infinite shifting charges and far faster punches for a few short seconds. It's going to be necessary to have that as a failsafe for the harder levels later on. You can also pick up various items in the environment to use as weapons, from brooms to wads of cash to the literal bolt of Zeus. You can use these pieces of the environment to take out far more enemies far more efficiently than if you just used your fists. But most have a short durability, so your advantage doesn't last that long. The game is 18 stages long, and each stage is a series of levels where you need to beat up every enemy in the room before you can proceed. Everything is carefully and predictably laid out, allowing you to keep trying the room over and over until you've mastered it. The game knows this too, as at the end of each stage, you're shown how long it took you to beat and how many times you died trying. So if you're a speedrunner, this game might be up your alley. In the end, Mr.Shifty is a fun, challenging indie game that will give you a good 4 hours of gameplay if you're just playing on your own like me. But if you're into speedrunning, this game is absolutely made for you and will give you even more hours of gameplay to master all the levels. If you're that kind of player who's into action puzzles and level mastery, I'd say it's well worth the $15 price tag. This has been TheRatMan, and I will see you all later.